This is Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. I hope you're doing fantastic. It's mid-June 2022 and I've been working on my fence. I just thought I'd show you what I've been up to in regards to home maintenance. Sometimes people pay someone thousands of dollars to do a job, and sometimes people just do it themselves. I recently turned 70 and I'm feeling every muscle ache of that, and I've been working on this fence intermittently for the last few weeks. I broke it up by going to the beach on a camping trip with my wife, but now back to working on this fence among other jobs around my property. So let me just turn around the camera and show you what I've been up to. So first of all, there's my truck. Today's Juneteenth, and like an idiot, I went to dump this off my these stacks of lumber in the back of my truck at the old yard where they allow citizens of Fort Worth to dump stuff. But it's closed, Juneteenth. I gotta get used to that holiday. That's a new holiday. Commemorating the day that African Americans, slavery was ended in the United States officially, specifically in the state of Texas. I've been stacking the wood over here that I'm taking to the dump. Some of these right here are large panels, 13, 12 pickets, but I've been cutting them up into, 6 pickets, as you can tell. This fence has seen better days. Much better days. So now I'm going to be taking this probably tomorrow in about 4 or 5 trips, because I don't have a little trailer to haul it all. I'm going to be throwing it in the back of my truck. So I've been working on my fence, and here's some of the tools. The 1 1/4 nails for the pickets, and the 3-inch nails for the rails. I've been cutting the wood with my Black & Decker Sawzall. It's been working very nicely. Very nicely. I got some extra blades right there. Took some of the stuff out of the back of my truck, some of my tools, etc. And there's my lawn mower. So there's my bikes. So here's a piece of section of fence I finished already. I'm keeping the posts. They seem pretty solid. They're very solid, and they seem to be not falling apart. This one fell apart, so I had to redo it, and it's a little taller than the other ones. I may chop it down. So here are the rails, and here are the pickets, and these are cedar pickets, a little bit wider than the normal. So there we are. I've been screwing them in. As you can see here, I've been using screws, a screwdriver, and some of these things are a little crooked. I thought I had them all straight, but some of them are crooked, but I can deal with it. So 1, 2, 3 rails, and the appropriate amount of pickets. These posts are pretty solid. They're relatively solid. They should last another 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We're planning to move from Texas back to California in a few years, about 2, 3, 4 years. Let me get this bug off here, the carcass of a bug. So, one of my neighbors told me that her husband, about my age, a few years back, helped just put the fence up by himself, and then a few weeks later passed away. So I'm working on this slowly but surely. That was her little warning to me, saying, hey, Jesus, you better just take it easy. You can't just be too aggressive. So we had bushes here. We had several bushes And a lot of the bushes that were planted in the 80s in my neighborhood have started to deteriorate. So my wife's done a great job of pulling these up and collecting the wood, and we're going to take those to the yard. We've been trying to keep this as level as possible. Once we put in the posts, we're going to say, oh, it has to be dug out a little bit more, so we don't want any of the dirt, you know, too close to the pickets. So my wife's working on this one. I'm going to be getting my little sawzall and chop, 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 chop. Slowly but surely it's getting done. It's another 100+ degree day in Texas. Here's one that we got to get rid of. I'm going to use a chainsaw on this one again. I've been cutting it here and there. Used to, you know, be about, that specific bush was about good 8 feet high. My next door neighbor, she pays for people to do excellent work, and she can afford it apparently. That's a very nice fence. That's a super nice fence. I wish I had a fence like that. She has people come over all the time. Seems like every other week somebody's coming over to do her pool, to do her fence, to do her yard, to do her everything, you know, do her nails. So this is my row of crepe myrtles. Goes all the way across, and then we have a brick fence way over there. So what do you think of my project? It's a lot of work. As a 70-plus-year-old now, I have to be very wary over getting overheated and getting heat prostration, stroke. So this side was always this side, but that side was always on the other side. So now we're just going to keep it all pretty much this way. Putting up the pickets is not a problem. So these are the screws we use. So far I only put one. Some areas they just were a little, these right here were a little bent out. I got to put a screw right here. See, I forgot that one. I got quite a few screws to put in. And in some areas I have 2 screws. So the fence is looking pretty good. This is my work table. This is an old beat up table that I had lying around. So I might use it as a work table. So what do you think? Here's a shot of the fence. Let me turn around the camera. This has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. I hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. It's a job, definitely a job. It's going to take another week or so. My wife encouraged me, say, hey, after you do your job, after you put up the fence, we'll get you a new laptop. I'm planning to get the new laptop by Apple with the M2 chip. That should be fun. I'll use that when I'm traveling, RVing, when we go to Europe next year. That should be fun. So, most of the people that quoted prices to do my fence were around $3,000. So I think we're going to be spending about $1,000, under $1,000 on supplies. I understand there's labor in putting in the fence is a lot. It's a lot. My wife and I agreed. Now that I'm 70 and she's going to be 70 in a few years, we should hire people to do these jobs for us in the future. But I told my wife our next home, let's try to keep it small, simple, manageable. Not a condo. I wish I can get a condo, but condos typically have those $300, $400, $500, monthly HOA fees. And I'm not a fan of HOA fees. Those bugs up there are making a hell of a lot of noise, aren't they? Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have the time, please leave your kind and super friendly comments below. Abajo. Muchas gracias. And check out my Patreon page to support my modest efforts here. Go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMM Garza. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. Thanks for checking out my modest little channel. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.